Hi, and welcome to the end of Domain 3 in Semester 2. This domain has been looking at how we partner with students and with their families and whānau, and with teachers to achieve benefits for kids. And I think this domain has been one that I've probably enjoyed more than some of the others. I've really felt a real sense that I can apply a lot of the learning on this one. So it's been a domain that I've really enjoyed doing, and I've probably seen a much more relevant. Um, I've seen greater relevance in it. In competency one, I was looking at partnerships with family and with whānau, and for me that was a really good um, reminder of my early years as a play centre supervisor, as a play centre mum, and the importance of our families and whānau, and the very close links that we were able to forge with parents and with kids as we work to support their learning. And this is going back at the time that Te Whariki was being introduced as the early childhood curriculum. And so that was a very strong connection for me about looking at whānau, looking at family, how we communicate with both parties. And so I really enjoyed this domain. It brought to the fore, I think, as a teacher, sometimes it's really easy to think, right, I'm in here, probably a bit of the deficit model, if I'm to be really honest, of okay, this kid's got some challenges, I need to help get in there and fix these. Um, and so that domain was really useful to get me thinking about how do the family see this. Let's look at it from a strength-based perspective. Maybe I need to stop looking at what the kids can't do and focus on what they can. And so relationships with family are ideal for helping us look at beyond what the kids can't do and looking at what they can. And it sort of linked back to a lot of the things about narrative assessment earlier on in um, core, core paper one, looking at narrative assessment, and that that reaffirmed strength-based practice. And so partnering with families again reminded me of the things we used to do in Play Centre when we looked at what the kids could do, what they were interested in, and then extended them further. So in terms of making those connections with family, thinking about how as teachers we really do forge that and bring that in. And it's been particularly pertinent as I've had a teacher and a parent that have fallen a little bit foul of each other. And so it's about how do we make sure that everybody's feeling valued and respected, and ultimately recognizing that families have to deal with this after we've gone home, and that the behaviours that we see at school, sometimes we're not seeing the rest of it that parents have when the kids go home and they're tired and they're back in their safe place, and it's easy to sometimes gloss over, oh yes, it'll be all right, or this is what's important, not that. So it was a very useful domain to work on, and it's really got me thinking about things I want to do differently, um, particularly communication, keeping that communication going, making it stronger, and really emphasising that. Um, again, to competency two, I looked at circle time, and for me that was really exciting because it's something I'm doing in my work at the moment. So it gave me that opportunity to really dig deeper, um, and look at what circle time was and the research behind it. It gave me a mandate to spend time doing that, and it's been something I've been able to apply automatically into my work, and that's been something that yeah, it just felt really great. I've heard Wendy talking about, and Alison and everyone talking about link it to your work, link it to your work. And sometimes I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I'm trying. But this time round, I really was able to link it to the work. I was in the middle of doing circle time, and I saw that as a really great way of gathering student voice and looking at relationships in the classroom and building those relationships both between students with each other, but also with the teacher, and giving the teacher a chance to hear what the kids were saying, giving the kids a chance to advocate for themselves. So it was really exciting to find a vehicle for Circle Time, and what I really liked was that it reinforced the work from the last domain I did, which I looked at Incredible Years. This time I was looking at Circle Time, and for me there's a bit of a natural theme um, running through my work, and things are just sort of layering on top of each other. I feel like it's quite a cyclical thing, and there's layers upon layers enriching it all. So that was really great, looking at student voice and being able to find the research and go back to contextualized practice. Some of the readings we did in core papers that looked at the educational theorists like Brundtland, Brenner, Maslow, Rogers, all of those people, and how their research, socio-cultural research, kind of really reinforces those messages in Circle Time and Student Voice. Um, and then going into domain or competency 3 of domain 3, again, real total application to my work, because I'm supporting a couple of schools as their PB4L liaison person on their team, on their school teams, and we're doing Tier 2 training, and we're looking at functional based assessments, and there have been some big doozies of cases happening in the school where there's been real upsets with behaviour, and we're getting this language where everyone's saying, so what do you think the function is, and everyone's looking at it. So having that chance to unpack the language and apply it has been really useful, and so I've felt really energized perhaps in this domain in a way I haven't necessarily in all the others. And I said before, everything feels a bit cyclical. I feel like I'm layering on top of it, um, more and more knowledge, deepening my knowledge, and starting to really integrate some of that knowledge, which has been great. And just having a look at those interventions and seeing the evidence, supporting the evidence of Circle Time, supporting evidence behind functional based analysis and assessments, um, going back to when we talked in core paper about He Ritinga Whai Mōhio, and the tika, the pono, and the aroha, again coming through on what we're doing here, where we're starting to look at evidence base and what's happening, and particularly with the function based assessments and the Circle Time, the two of them gel together nicely. You do the functional based assessment, you think, what's the behavior telling me, and what am I going to do about it? Well, actually, Circle Time is a really good vehicle to start doing something here, as well as some of the tips that come out of some of Jenny Mosley's books around Circle Time, to target kids that are really distressed, and those kids that are, their behaviour, she talks about being beyond the normal scope of things and needing that extra layer of support. And so again, cross-pollination of competency 2, competency 3 in this. So it's been great. I think I've also been able to achieve a goal which I've set previously of reading strategically, and I feel I've been a lot more focused, because I was really excited to unpack Circle Time. It was something I really wanted time to do. I was really excited to unpack functional based assessments, because I'm very passionate about PB4L. I'm really passionate about Incredible Years, and I just see a real coming together or synergy between all of them. They just work really well together. So I feel like I'm gaining a lot, getting able to apply things, and it's exciting to think I'm actually starting to apply some of these learnings in the way I approach my work, and feeling a bit more confident in stepping up and saying, let's try Circle Time, this is the reason why, let's try using some functional based assessments here. Let's use some of the principles from Incredible Years about building relationships. Here's the evidence that backs that. So yeah, it's been a really good domain. I've really enjoyed this domain, and it's been a lot of fun. So it's nice to be at the end of it. I'm ready to start domain 4 and moving on. So thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you in the end of domain 4. Bye for now.